don't get me wrong, I greatly admire what Ohtani is able to do, both hitting and pitching. It's such a rare combination. But the glazing is just ridiculous. It's nauseating.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hitting for the Cycle. I'm your host, Ben Kruse, alongside my co-host, Ryan Touhey. Ryan, three things I want to tell you before we get started. Number one, we're officially in the month of June. Number two, I want to wish you safe and thankful Knicks remembrance, right, of a great season. You guys beat us fair and square, so think about that. You beat the defending champs, and you're within 2 games of reaching the NBA Finals. So I know you're probably down this morning, but just kind of remember that you guys definitely had a great season, and you probably should have a very interesting offseason to look forward to. So I know you're obviously not a crazy big Knicks fan, but you probably were watching this overall ride, and obviously it's sad, it sucks. I was very similar the way after we lost to you guys. Yeah, I just want to tip my cap and give you guys a great season. And then number three, we got the Red Sox Yankees to look forward to this week, and we're going to get more into that. And Ryan and I are going to have some great fun plans for you guys this week. But before we get started, make sure to follow us on Hidden for the Cycle at HFTCT ETB on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network at ETB Network. Make sure to subscribe to the Empty the Bench Podcast Network on YouTube. Follow Ryan Touhey at R2E97. Follow Ben Kruse at Ben Kruse144. Also follow us at Hidden for the Cycle at HFTEC ETB. Also make sure to follow us at YouTube/ETB Network. If you guys want to listen to us on the go, listen to Hitting for the Cycle wherever you get podcasts. And, of course, Hitting for the Cycle is presented by our good friends over at Playback. So, Ryan, we're going to get started with the Red Sox Yankees. My friend, we have officially made it, like I said in the intro. We are now officially at June, so it's great to think that we're almost here. So, before we get into this, though, Ryan, I never asked you, how are you doing?
I am doing all right. Like you said, I'm disappointed that the next season is over. Their curse continues to live on. Still haven't won an NBA championship since 1973. It's not easy being a New York sports fan, I'll tell you that. New York sports really have just been in a dry spell of championship gold for quite some time. Still without a championship in professional sports since the Giants beat your Patriots in Super Bowl 46. I had to bring that up to make myself feel a little better. But
that's fair.
But
fair enough.
But other than that, I mean, like you said, I'm not the biggest NBA fan to begin with. I'm not the biggest Knicks fan to begin with, but I was into them during this playoff run, and it is disappointing that they fell short again. It's getting a little. It gets harder and harder every time a New York team just falls short of going all the way, and for a city that has in a big market such as New York City to continuously just fall short in the playoffs in all professional sports is crushing. There's no other way of saying it. But the Knicks shouldn't get too down on them because they did have a great year. But the Pacers were just too much to handle. They're just a strong team. I mean,
definitely.
But regardless of who won the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think whoever won the Eastern Conference Finals to begin with has a shot in the NBA championship against Oklahoma City, though.
No, and obviously to the Pacers fans, and listen, folks, this is a baseball show. We will go quickly right back into the overall programming, but yeah, OKC, the Indiana Pacers can only beat you specifically by one way and one way only, and that's basically turnovers and transition, which the Knicks had about 14 plus turnovers yesterday. And, their star players just didn't really show up at their best against a team like that in a hostile environment. So it's what it is. But like you said, Ryan, you can't, hold your head too much down. You guys had a good year. And now it's all Yankees for you, Ryan, which is typically your team. And that's obviously where we're transitioning back into this. So, my Red Sox, your Yankees. We take on each other next weekend. And, folks, Ryan and I will get to see each other back in action come Friday night. We'll be both at the overall stadium. We don't know if we're going to get to do any content for you guys. We would obviously maybe like to do a quick short video, potentially from the stadium, and maybe have a little quick fun thing. But in terms of like a physical overall launch show, don't expect that overall to happen just because of overall just I have to get to the stadium. Brian has to get to the stadium. We have other bunch of other people remaining at the stadium, but it should be a great old time, and maybe we'll try to do something quick for you guys for that. So it should be really really fun overall time. So, Ryan, I mean, obviously, looking into this overall series, this is the first series between our two teams. We're actually be taking on each other at Fenway 2 weeks after, I believe. So we're definitely going to be seeing each other a lot more, very similar like to how we did last year, in which pretty much we didn't face each other for about 2-3 months, and then boom, it was like we faced each other within a span of 3 to 4 weeks. So, how do you feel about this overall? Like us facing each other again, and like I said, it should be a hell of a time to see each other back at the stadium like we were last year.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just getting back to the East Coast. I'm tired of seeing the Yankees out west because they were out west basically the entire month of May whenever they were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Barely were home at Yankee Stadium this past month, so it's just going to be nice to get back and get away
Yeah.
from the get away from Dodger Stadium specifically, where the Yankees are currently playing right now. It has not been pretty. It's been a rough 2 games at Dodger Stadium. The Yankees are wrapping up a very long West Coast road trip. They had 3 in Colorado, like I mentioned last week, and then they had 3 in Anaheim. And currently, they're wrapping up a series against the world champion Dodgers this weekend. Yankees took 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. Should have been a sweep, but it is what it is. Yankees
Oh,
swept the
that
Angels.
Sunday game out, by the way, against the Rockies. We were talking about it.
Yeah, yeah, they sure don't make it easy. I'll say
Mhm.
that they barely sneaked out a win in that final game. They really Rockies pushed them. Of course they did. As usual, the Yankees don't make it easy for themselves whenever they face inferior competition, but they still won the series 2 out of 3 regardless.
Right.
So there was that. They
Mhm.
swept the Angels in 3 straight games. The Angels didn't really put up much of a fight in that series besides the final game, even though that was only a 1-0 final. The umpire certainly helped us out in that last game where he called a strike 3 on, I forget who was at the plate for the Angels in the ninth, and I think
Ohanti.
Ohapi.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the Angels did actually make the second game relatively close. Yankees had a 3-0 lead in game
Devin
2.
Williams.
Rodon pitched a hell of a game.
Yep.
Devin Williams, who has not found consistency at all this season,
Mhm.
decided to make it interesting when he came on in the ninth inning and proceeded to give up 2 runs before Logan Ohapi helped us out by swinging at a 3-0 pitch, popping up in foul territory to give the Yankees a 3-2 win. And then, like I mentioned, in game 3, it was a 1-0 final. The umpire helped us out by punching out Logan Ohapi on a pitch that was nowhere near the strike zone. So, yes, that's how the series went against Anaheim.
Mhm.
And like I mentioned, the Yankees are currently in Los Angeles to face the Dodgers for 3 games. They have dropped the first 2 games of this series. Yankees came out of the gate swinging in the first game. Aaron Judge hitting a home run in his first at bat, but Shohei Ohtani decided to respond and hit a home run on the first pitch he saw from Max Fried.
Mhm.
Ohtani wound up hitting 2 home runs in game 1, and the Dodgers came back and won the first game 8-5. And then last night, oh boy, was this a treat! Will Warren looked like a deer in headlights. He was absolutely mortified to pitch on the mound at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
he looks shook.
he was so scared. I swear to God, he wanted out of there after Ohtani came to the plate.
Mm.
Dodgers absolutely mauled the Yankees last night,
Mm.
18-2. They had 5 home runs, 2 from Max Muncy, including Muncy's 200th career home run. Andy Pajes hit a home run. Kim hit a home run. And I forget, there was one more guy who hit a home run. It was a rookie, I think, in the ninth inning off Pablo Reyes. Things got so ugly, the Yankees had to bring in a position player.
Oh, Dalton Rushing, the catcher.
Rushing hit a home run. So the Dodgers just once again adding insult to injury to the Yankees. Basically, these past
Thousand without Mookie Betts, which is
Yeah.
the crazy part.
yeah, Mookie's missing this series because he stubbed his toe apparently in the dark. Of course he did. And the Dodgers, though, no Mookie, no problem. Taking care of the Yankees with relative ease. And they got the rubber match tonight, and the odds are not in the Yankees' favor to take this game because they got to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight.
Oh boy.
And Yamamoto is dealing this season. He is looking like a perennial Cy Young contender this year for the National League. Yankees are going to counter with Ryan Yarbrough, who's pitched pretty well, but Ryan Yarbrough against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I mean, if you pick Ryan Yarbrough, then I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like the caption, is it the hydrogen baby against like the coffin or something? If you've seen that comparison. Yarbrough's actually been kind of like dumb in the rough. He used to be so bad. He just his stuff was putrid, even in the Tampa Bay lab. And he's come into the Matt Blake lab and he's pitched well. Now, granted, I don't know against how many great lineups he's faced, to be fair. I mean, this is obviously probably going to be the most ultimate test against this Dodger team, but we're going to have to see that. But obviously, Ryan, like you said, you're very excited for Yanks to come back. I'm excited for my Sox to come back home. Like I said, I don't really think – I mean, I'll let you obviously talk about your team specifically. What between both of our two teams, going into this overall series, the Red Sox are on a really, really bad path right now. I don't want to rant whatsoever. It's the start of June, and of course things can kind of turn around. I'm just kind of numb right now to this overall feeling. I feel like it's the definition of insanity in terms of what's been going on with this baseball team the last 3-4 years. And I get it. Obviously, you haven't had Alex Bregman. You probably won't have him for months now. You called up Marcelo Meyer. He's at least gotten some opportunities. But for some odd reason, they have not called up Roman Anthony because of service malpraction time. It's been awful. They actually trolled us yesterday, Ryan. They called up Nick Eaton, who is a outfielder. But one of the biggest reasons why they call him up is because today they're trying to have Christian Campbell go from second base to play first base today, which I think he's going to in the rubber finale game against the Braves. The pitching's been way out of whack outside of Crochet consistently. The bullpen, I feel awful for Brennan Bernardino. I feel like the guy's just been pitching for the 5th, 6th inning like almost every single game. Shout out to you, Bernie, but you should not be pretty much going out every single game now because our starting pitching can't give you length. So you're a real one for sure for that. So it should be interesting because I mean, we're talking about overall expectations, I guess, talking about right now, but the lineup just has not been consistent. I would hope to see Roman there for the game we are at, Ryan, come Friday, which I think would be really cool to have him, the long-awaited wait for not the number one overall prospect in all of the Red Sox, but all of baseball, Roman Anthony, and to see him have his first chance against the heated rival in the Yankees, I think it'd be a really cool moment to see. So I would hope it happens this weekend. I really, really do, because I'm really excited to see the core three in terms of what the Red Sox are trying to build here, right? Pretty much post Mookie Betts era at this point in time with the team. And, they need a jolt in the lineup. It's just been really up and down. They got swept by the Brewers, who are not good at all. They had many hiccups specifically, and they're playing losing baseball. That's what they're pretty much doing. They're playing. They've gone walked off, I think, 5-6 times. I think it's more than it was pretty much all last year. It's not good. They finally won on was it Friday against the Braves, but then of course gets shut out for the first time because that's the Red Sox for you in a nutshell. They got shut out yesterday by the final score of 5-0. Spencer Spolenbuck absolutely shoved it. up our ass. Today we got Garrett Crochet against Bryce Elder, so I kind of do feel good a little bit about that matchup, but it's all about the offense. I just can't trust that lineup right now consistently. Alex Bregman should not be the savior too. To be fair, they should have definitely added one more other power bat, the righty power bat. And they just really don't have that overall thing. It's a really young lineup too. So I mean, Christian Campbell obviously has been great. But the fact is now, if you asked me about Carlos Narvaez, Nick Sogard, and I don't know. The number 4 guy in the lineup now has just been a ton of question marks. I mean, I don't know what the lineup is going to be for today, but I think yesterday we had. Let me see who we had. Ryan. Oh, it was. I think it was Willier yesterday at 4. But it's just been very up and down. But the pitching probables that we're going to see on Friday, Ryan, is going to be Walker Buehler and Will Warren. That is the projected pitching probable matchup for Friday. And so I don't know, because I think, Buehler obviously has had his great moments against the Yankees. Will Warren, I mean, the Red Sox definitely have to start hitting, consistently. I mean, Warren, his overall stats, it's 3-3 at the 5+ ERA. He does have a 1.42 WHIP, but I mean, we're gonna have to see about that. We might be able to see some offense, Ryan, to be honest, on Friday. Saturday, it's going to be projected. I don't see the Saturday probables as of right now, but yeah, that's
Warren pitched last night, so you guys would. If I had to guess, you guys are probably going to get Yarborough then on Saturday, because Yarborough's pitching tonight.
I'm actually checking right now on ESPN, because ESPN typically has the look ahead probables for about the good week, and it's kind of the projected ones. Mm-hmm. Let's see who they have coming up for the weekend. Okay, here we go. So Crochet is projected to pitch for us on Saturday. They do not have the Yankees don't have a starter as of right now, and then it's going to be Richard Finch against Carlos Rodon on Sunday for Sunday Night Baseball. So, I mean, that should be interesting. Rodon's actually pitched well, but it sounds like we're going to be able to avoid Max Fried, which I think would be really, really big for the Sox, because, I mean, we probably won't hit Rodon, to be fair, but if you had to face both of them, I mean, I'm definitely thinking we're going to lose 2 out of 3, if not get swept. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, Ryan, this team sucks. It's not good. I want to feel hopeful, but they're now in 4th place, 28-32. They're not even 500. They're 3-7 their last 10. Before your Yanks, they have the Angels coming up, but the Angels honestly haven't been playing bad. I mean, they're 26-31. They just got Mike Trout back. I don't know. It's what it is. I'm not feeling great coming into this Yankees series. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the Red Sox just came into this season with expectations that they would be taking a step forward up from last year, and that has not happened. It's been a very disappointing season for the Red Sox, and they're probably one of the most disappointing teams so far this season in terms of where they're at. Like you said, the offense has just been inconsistent all year. The pitching's been inconsistent. No one has really, besides Bregman and Crochet, no one really has been consistently good this entire season, and it's been frustrating. There's no doubt about it. And, the fact that the Red Sox are 4 games under 500 at the beginning of June, and this is when things really start to pick up. It's a little anticlimactic that this is where they're at heading into this weekend. I mean, we'll see what they do against the Angels, obviously, before they face the Yankees. But, yeah, I mean, I did not expect the Red Sox to be struggling to this extent this season.
Yeah. I'm not surprised specifically, but I'm also just very disappointed and numb that it's the same exact crap that we're seeing from the last couple of years. It's like, for me, it's like I could, go off specifically on a show, but I'm just not. I'm just completely I'm numb to this. I am.
Well, I also took a look at the Red Sox lineup in general. Losing Bregman is huge. It's enormous. It's almost to the equivalent. not necessarily on the same level of severity, but losing a caliber player like Bregman in your lineup, that's almost close to the Yankees losing somebody like Aaron Judge almost.
He's like a 3 to 4 one. I think his WAR this year was like a 3 to 4 WAR player. So it's about, and that's honestly about 2 players. But I also will say, Ryan, that as great as Bregman is, he should not be like your savior specifically, as great as he is specifically. They do not have another type of righty power bat in their lineup, and they should have addressed that this offseason because you knew for a fact how young this team's going to be, but they had to be able to balance that out, and they just never did. It was really just, okay, we have Alex Bregman, and then, of course, hint for the who's not, Trevor Story has been abysmal.
Yeah, and the Red Sox are such a young team still. They got a lot of guys who are still going through the growing pains and are not going to hit consistently just yet. These guys are still very young, and they're going to have prolonged slumps. And it's still a learning process for a lot of these guys. It's going to take them probably like 2 to 3 years before they can finally start to blossom. So it's just been tough, and it's not easy, especially the fact that the Red Sox had to go to Yankee Stadium first this year. But these two teams obviously play each other multiple times a year, so the rivalry continues this weekend. If I had to make my prediction, I'll say the Yankees take 2 out of 3. I said that for our first series last year, and you guys wound up taking 2 out of 3 from us, and at Fenway Park. And you guys, that's when you guys played your best baseball of the year. You guys went on like a month-long run of pretty solid baseball, and then obviously you guys, got tired once the calendar hit August. And,
also, right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it was. We'll see. We'll see if this is the spark that the Red Sox need in order to at least play a little more respectably. The series against the Brewers was just brutal. 2 back-to-back walk-off wins, and the first one back-to-back walk-off losses. I'm sorry, and the first walk-off loss was a kick to the groin with Christian Yelich hitting a walk-off grand slam. At least you guys experienced that in the regular season and not the World Series like we did. But it was. The Dodgers have been very quick to remind the Yankees of just how bad they blew that World Series, by the way. And it's definitely for the Red Sox. You got to look at that as kind of like a make or break series. It's time. You either go in there and you either make a statement and try and beat one of the top teams in baseball, or you can fold like a cheap suit and kind of just remain in the cellar for the foreseeable future.
I've said it all along, but the season or 4.5 back. Of course you can ride with the young kids, and that could obviously be the more exciting part. But if you're talking about, I'm not even thinking division anymore, which is very, very sad to think because I'm not gonna lie. When I looked around the overall division, the Orioles aren't great. The Blue Jays specifically, I didn't think added a whole ton to obviously, think that they were ahead of us for us consistently. And the Rays are the Rays. I knew for a fact that they're going to be kind of in the mix. But to be 4.5 back come June, I get it. Specifically, Alex Bregman got hurt. We cannot control that injury. But, it's just been, for at least a little bit of time, I'm like, they were going up and down. They're kind of right at 500. And I'm like, all right. That's essentially kind of what I've been seeing with this team for the last couple of years. I was just expecting them to have that takeoff eventually, going up. Instead, it's been all of going down. And I'm just kind of taking a look at it. People want to blame Alex Cora, too, for all this mess. It's like, I get it. I think that Alex Cora definitely has had some blame for this, but we talked about managers getting fired already. I hate that the scapegoat type of direction, right? You also have to blame Craig Breslow. Breslow specifically does not want to call up one of your top prospects in which, you need to have a spark. But like you said, Ryan, maybe this is the spark that the Red Sox need. Maybe you call up your number 1 prospect in baseball. Maybe that's a good start. And then maybe you could at least show some life against the Yankees. And what you have, even in our tough seasons, we've had Dunn be able to do that, as we've been able to give the Yankees a tough series. I don't know if it's just seeing those pinstripes on the other side and saying, oh, well, we got to play our best baseball. But yeah, I'm going to go 2 out of 3 also for your ranks, Ryan. I just think that right now you guys are just a much better team. And, like I said, we're going to play each other within the last couple weeks here. So I think all in all, I'm hopeful that we can take a win when we go play you guys. But it should be a really, really fun overall time. It really should be. I haven't been to Yankee Stadium, I don't think, at all this year, actually. I know you've gone to a couple games already, but
I've only gone to one.
You've been to one. That's right. Yeah. So I've been to 3 Sox games. 3, of course, at Fenway. 2 and 1 in the season. So first one on the road, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but it should be a good time for sure. And like I said, to our people out here, we'll probably not get crazy content for you guys away from the overall series when we're going to be at the stadium together, but we'll probably have like a quick post game or something together, and we'll put it out there for you guys. So yeah, Red Sox Yankees, Ryan, round 1 this upcoming weekend. No, next weekend, specifically on this day of recording. Hitting for the Cycle is presented by Playback. Watching sports is more fun with others, but we spend too much of our time watching alone. Playback is a virtual space where communities can stream live sports together with everyone perfectly synced up. Creators can hop on stage, deliver their own play-by-play analysis and commentary, and invite viewers up for Q&A. Playback makes watching sports fully interactive and a social experience, from playing fantasy sports, repping your favorite players and teams, and watching with the commentators and communities you care about. Win or lose, sports are best enjoyed together. Join our community by going to playback.tv/CGB Network to find out more, including our live stream schedule. And now back to the show. So turning next to the Dodgers, I know we've obviously talked about the Dodgers already and Shohei Ohtani. People just have to remember Shohei Ohtani is a generational type of talent, and we also just have to remember that he is a pitcher. He has not been pitching for a while, of course, because he's coming back from his injury specifically that he's recovering from. But when the Dodgers took on the Mets Memorial Day weekend, Shohei Ohtani was throwing off the mound for the first time since his injury. And of course, there were so many people already in attendance to see in terms of what happens. There's actually legitimate videos. I mean, you talk about glazing. There was videos specifically of him throwing these sessions, and I'm gonna be posting them. I get it. He was throwing, throwing for the mound for the first time, and it's like, geez, man. I like Shohei a lot, but the glazing at times, it takes it a little too far. But all in all, it's really good to see Shohei back on the mound. And not only it's good for him, but it's good for baseball because this is a type of player that is a once in a lifetime type of player, as we've seen. And he's not only one of the most feared hitters in the game, but he's one of the most feared pitchers in the game when his stuff is at its peak. We have just not seen it in a while. The Dodgers also definitely need a jolt, specifically in their rotation, because man, oh man, outside of Yamamoto right now, it's it's kind of shaky. I'm not gonna lie in terms of it. But the crazy part is with the Dodgers is they're very deep. And they're going to just get that much deeper when they get the awaited Shohei Ohtani first debut, hopefully in the next couple weeks to within the next month.
Yeah, well, it's good to see Ohtani throwing again. Regardless, it feels like it's been an eternity. I mean, he hasn't pitched in a game since he was with the Angels 2 years ago. So It's still always special to see a guy who is one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in baseball, also take the mound with some filthy stuff as well. Yeah. I mean, but like you said, I mean, don't get me wrong, I greatly admire what Ohtani is able to do, both hitting and pitching. It's such a rare combination. But the glazing is just ridiculous. It's nauseating unless continuously just praise Ohtani and just bow at the altar of Shohei Ohtani every single year. I think it was yesterday or the day before, John Smoltz referred to Shohei Ohtani as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. You can call Ohtani one of the greatest hitters of all time,
The
but
guy has not pitched in a year. How can you say that?
You cannot refer to Shohei Ohtani as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Get the hell out of here. You can admire him. You can say it's amazing what he does. It is. But stop saying the guy's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. All right? Cut the crap. All right? That's just
maybe eventually down the road, but you can't say anything right now when the guy
not
pitch.
I don't think he's ever going to be. I don't think he's ever going to be one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I think
probably not.
I think that ship has kind of sailed. All right. If you want to be one of the greatest pitchers of all time, you got to stay consistently healthy to pitch on the mound. Got to win at least. You got to win or finish. At least in the top 3 in some Cy Young awards, so on and so forth. And Ohtani has just had a lot of injuries when it comes, and he's been unable to stay on the mound at least. I mean, he's a freak of nature, obviously, that his injuries are not going to deter him from his hitting capabilities. So, that's also that's also part of the magic of Shohei Ohtani, I guess. But still, I mean, he's not one of the greatest pitchers of all time. He's a very good pitcher, all right? He has really good stuff. But, and it's always a treat to watch him pitch. And I'm looking forward to seeing him get back on the mound. And the Dodgers do need him to get on the mound eventually soon because, like you mentioned, their pitching is pretty thin, even though it shoved against the Yankees this weekend. Of course it did. The Dodgers rotation, again, is getting beat up. A lot of injuries. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki's down again. Oh, well, not again.
There was a Dodger fan, speaking of, you're talking about injuries. There's a Dodger fan that, of course, posted. He's like, he's just wait until the IL stacked pitching staff is back. And it was insane. It was like Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, Roki Sasaki, Emmett Sheehan, River Ryan, Blake Snell. I'm like, where does all these guys come from? Like, I even know it, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's absurd just how many injuries the Dodgers pitching has endured in the past 2 seasons.
And they still are fine with it.
Well, they just have a lot of depth. They get everybody.
Give them credit. Give them credit.
I do give them credit as much as it pains me and as much as I don't want to give them credit. But they are a good they are obviously a good team. They got the names that you would want in your lineup every day. So, they are one of the very few teams that could handle the amount of injuries that they've endured, especially to their rotation this year. So I personally think Ohtani will pitch this season, but I think it's going to be more of kind of a cameo appearance on the mound this year. I don't think he's going to be pushed too hard when he gets back on the mound. If I had to guess, if I had to make my estimation, I'm going to guess he comes back to the mound in August at some point, maybe mid to late August. But I don't know if he'll be ready enough to pitch in the postseason or if Dave Roberts would be willing to let him pitch in the postseason. Ohtani might be up for Ohtani, I'm sure would be up for it because nothing phases the guy. But I think that I do think he'll come back to the mound at some point. And I know for a fact when he comes back on the mound, all the cameras will be on him. All the photographers will be ready to snap pictures of him. And it'll be a sight to behold, no doubt about it, because he hasn't pitched in a game as a Dodger yet. So it'll definitely be a special moment. So it's something to look forward to. It's good to see him get closer to pitching. And, we're only at the beginning of June, so I think there's a good chance you're going to see him on the mound later this year. So that'll be good to see.
How about this, Ryan? Because the Red Sox and Dodgers face each other late August. Mookie Betts comes back to Boston. Talk about Shohei Ohtani having his first debut, shoving it up our ass at Fenway Park. That would be definitely something that I would not be surprised about.
If there's one thing I will say about Shohei Ohtani, he has victimized the Yankees plenty of times with his power. He had 2 home runs against the Yankees on Friday. However, when it comes to pitching, the Yankees actually hit Shohei Ohtani pretty well. He has not really pitched well. He has not really pitched well against the Yankees. So the Yankees have that on him at least.
No, you're definitely right for sure on that. Shohei is thrown off the mound. Of course, the Dodgers are just going to get even better. The rich get richer no matter if they are adding, which they actually added with Alexis Diaz. Of course, they just added more to their bullpen. He had a 12 plus with the Reds. But Alexis Diaz was one of the most electrifying closers specifically. Obviously, he's the brother to Edwin Diaz. And the Dodgers just pick him up for the early midseason trade because why not? That's obviously Andrew Friedman doing the Lord's work. When of course they already have guys like Kopech and all these type of guys that are pretty much hurt. Yeah, we'll just get another one. That's the Dodgers for you.
Yep.
What is also going right now for us is our team reports and around the league stuff. So of course, we already kind of had a quick little team report kind of with the Red Sox Yankees, but I do also want to kind of talk about some stuff that is of course around the league because there's unfortunately, Ryan, more baseball teams besides our teams that we have to talk about. But that's of course why we love the game. So like I said, the Red Sox, I'll start with my team already. We already mentioned that they lost. They split the Baltimore Orioles series. The last time we talked, that Sunday game, Dean Kramer, of course, I think it was a 4+ ERA pitcher, shoved it up our ass because why not? Marcel Meyer. No, it was Walker Buehler. He only went 5 innings. He definitely wasn't awful in that game. He didn't pitch great against the Braves yesterday, but to be frankly honest with you, the Braves lineup is a lot better than the Orioles lineup this year. And yeah, 5-1 final. Red Sox split the Orioles series, which after the first 2 wins, that series kind of feels like a loss, in itself. And then Memorial Day happens, and I just wanted to enjoy my hot dog and my hamburger, and have a nice, good cookout meal and watch a Red Sox victory. But of course, they just do the Red Sox stuff. They were down. I think it was 3-2, Ryan. And it was bases loaded, and I think it was first and second, 2 outs. They intentionally walked Raffy to get to Connor Juan, who has been, oh my goodness, you talk about Trevor Story being that. Connor Juan has been abysmal this year. I mean, he used to be a very reliable hitter for us. I mean, the guy can't catch, and he's had no homers, no RBIs this year. Connor Juan. 2024, Ryan, Connor Juan had a 280 batting average. He had a 758 OPS, and he had 13 home runs. Pretty respectable numbers. This year, he has a 157 average, a 157 slug, a 402 OPS, 8 hits, and no doubles yet. Connor Juan has not had any doubles yet, and no home runs, no RBIs. So Carlos Narvaez has completely taken over for him as a starting catcher for the Boston Red Sox. I did not expect that at all. But in all essence, Connor Juan flew out to end the game. Sox his first game. We already talked about the 2 bullpen blow-ups that the Red Sox had. I don't want to talk more about it. And Red Sox get swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. Not great. Then they go to Atlanta to take on the Braves. They actually won the first game. Lucas Giolito went 4 innings. There was some odd reason the Red Sox with Alex Cora, they've been pulling their starters after 4 or 5 innings, even if guys are doing well. I don't know why right now. It's been really annoying. So don't be surprised if that happens to Buehler on Friday. Even if Buehler goes 4 innings, we'll take him out and just keep waxing our pen because why not? And then, Spencer Schwallenbach shoved it up our ass. Sox lose 5-0. And today's rubber game is going to be the War Pig, Garrett Crochet, going against Bryce Elder. Garrett Crochet is 4-4. This guy gets no run support. No run support. He's basically the Jacob deGrom of the Boston Red Sox, Ryan. It is absolutely – it's tough. It really, really is tough. Because all this guy does is come and he shoves it, and he just does not get any support from it. He has a 2.04. Crochet does coming into today's ball game on the day of recording against Bryce Elder, 2-2 with a 4.50 ERA. We'll see what happens there. And then, of course, the look ahead. They have 3 games against the Angels. Let's see who they have. Anderson against Fitz. Tuesday, it is Kikuchi against Bayo, 2 lefties back-to-back. Yikes. And then Jose Soriano, who's pitched well for them, against Giolito in the Thursday game. And then going to New York before they come back home. So they have a lot of home games around, to be frankly honest with you, before they have their West Coast trip. The Red Sox actually haven't had a West Coast trip compared to your Yanks for a lot of this season so far. But after they face your Yankees, they face your Yankees in New York, they take on the Rays for 3 at home, and then they have Yankees specifically for 3, including the matinee day for Father's Day. So that should be a really fun Father's Day gift. Hopefully, my dad could actually see. I'm not taking to that game. I actually was concerned about it, but I don't want to take my dad all the way up to Boston to see this baseball team right now. I'll be frankly honest. I asked him, "Do you want to go see the Woo Sox or do you want to go see the real team?" And he pretty much told me, "I'd rather go see the Woo Sox because I want to see Roman Anthony." So that's that. But yeah, it's what it is. And then we have the Seattle Mariners, Giants, and the Angels. So that's what we have for a lot coming up. Red Sox 28-32, 8.5 back. And wild card, they are 4 games back. Not good. How about you, Ryan?
I kind of went over how the Yankees have been doing recently. Like I said, West Coast trip. For the most part, I'd say the West Coast trip. They're going to finish this West Coast trip with a record of 500 record or over. I mean, they're either going 5-4 or 6-3. I'm leaning towards 5-4. I mean, like I said, the Yankees. They're a good team. But this series against the Dodgers is a dose of reality. I mean, they still just, when it comes to the Yankees and the Dodgers, it's night and day. The Dodgers just own us right now. We can't get anybody out. The Yankees pitching against the Dodgers is just not good at all. And it's the same guys who keep beating the Yankees. Freddie Freeman continues to rake every single time he comes to the plate. The Yankees only face Freddie Freeman like 3 or 4 times a season, depending on obviously if you make the World Series. And boy, does he take advantage of those short number of meetings. He's turned into a Yankee killer in just a couple of short years. He kills us, man.
He's so good though. There
was one pitch from Yerry De Los Santos, I remember, in the first game. It was like down in the dirt. Well, I was like down at the dirt, and he still hit the ball for a double.
Yeah, it was Taco. I saw that.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Where do you pitch to this guy? It's almost like these guys are supermen, and you just can't. It's the feeling that you cannot get these guys out. It's like facing Barry Bonds 9 times. That's basically what it's like. I just don't know how,
it's like you're in the arena. I think it's like you're in the boxing arena, right? And you have that one team that just keeps on punching and punching and punching. And the other guy specifically that's pretty much right in there and just kind of standing there. Yep. I know it. I mean, that's the Dodgers with the Yankees right now. They're like, Yankees are like, come on. And the Dodgers are like, all right, I'm ready.
that was Will Warren in the second game. Like I said, he was freaking terrified. I never saw a pitcher shrink on the mound like he did yesterday in quite some time. That was brutal, and I kind of expected him to struggle, but he exceeded my expectations.
Wow, I just saw his line right now.
Yeah, it was awful. It was very bad. One in the third innings. I think he gave up 7 hits or something.
7 hits. 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks.
The walk. That tells me that tells me right then and there he was scared to pitch to them.
Yeah,
he was scared. There's no other way to say it. And,
you can't. It's like you're going into the away place pitching scared against that team. Good luck. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily reassuring if you want to pitch in the postseason. You better suck it up if you pitch in the postseason. You better get over this fear. You better get over that fear factor. So I hope he got all the fear out of his body yesterday. Because if we make the playoffs, which I think we will, obviously, but he
does have, I think we have like an 80 plus right now %.
Yeah, it'll be one hell of a collapse if we don't, but. He'll probably, he'll have to be on the roster, I'm assuming, because the Yankees pitching is just so thin. I mean, unless the Yankees don't make any moves at the deadline and they're not able to get another pitcher, which I think would be crazy. The Yankees need to try and get another arm at the deadline.
And Freddie Peralta. That's what I think my bold prediction is here. You guys are going to get Peralta.
Either try and get Peralta or somebody. I know I brought up Sandy Alcantara earlier this year, but he's been really bad this year.
Maybe the Matt Blake clock would fix him, though, to be frankly fair.
Yes. But yes, I don't know if it was a World Series. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And the Yankees aren't even the best team in the American League right now. The Tigers are. The Tigers are really freaking good. So I got to be concerned about them too. So I mean, if the Yankees want to go far this year, they better start figuring out how to pitch to some teams. I mean, the Dodgers just it's batting practice for them against the Yankee pitching. It's really bad, and I'm dreading the possibility of. And the Yankees have obviously never played well against the Tigers in the postseason in history. I mean, granted that those Tiger teams had guys like Justin Verlander and Miguel Cabrera in their primes, so that wasn't necessarily the easiest task. But still, I mean, the Tigers are the one AL Central team the Yankees have not played well against. So, and with AJ Hinch at the helm, who's beaten the Yankees already 3 times in the postseason, not necessarily feeling great. I wouldn't feel great about that matchup in the postseason, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, the Yankees, other than that, can't really complain too much besides the beating that they've taken this weekend. They're still playing well. They're still a good team. Their series streak ended last night at the hands of the Dodgers. They had won 7 straight series, I believe. So, can't really complain too much. They're still playing well. It's the beginning of June. We actually really haven't gone around the league in terms of where people are in the standings. So why don't we take a look around the league and see where teams are at? So the Yankees lead the American League East at 35-22. The Rays are in second at 30-28. The no-name Rays, of course, are over 500. And I had them finishing last place in the AL East this year, so they were already making me eat my words. Yes, so go.
It's not surprising, Ryan. I don't know how they keep doing it.
I don't know either. But yes, they're actually tied for second with the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have actually been playing pretty decently. They've won 4 in
the last 10.
Yeah, they're 30-28. But they've also been playing some pretty crappy competition. So take that with a grain of salt.
That's just in the A's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, your Red Sox are in fourth at 28-32, like you mentioned, and the disappointing Orioles are in last at 21-36. Wow.
But Ryan, they beat the White Sox.
Did you see that? Did you see the brawl that was almost instigated yesterday? Kobe Mayo running into the pitcher basically in a rundown, and the 2 cellar dwellers nearly went at it, throwing jabs at each other.
Because that's what they got to do when they're not good.
So yeah, good times in Baltimore. In the American League Central, Tigers with the best record in all of baseball right now at 38-21. They are legit. They are a really good team, and
Glaber too. Glaber's played well.
Yeah, of course he is. So the Tigers lead the AL Central, and they're a threat, no doubt about it. So we'll see. Well, I mean, they may hit some regression at some point this year, but they have proven me right. I picked them to win the AL Central during our preseason predictions initially. So we'll see if they're able to keep it up. But yeah, they look good. Guardians and Twins are tied for second in the Central. Both are 31-26. The Royals are in fourth at 31-28. And the White Sox are in last at 18-40. The White Sox misery continues for another season. In the American League West, Mariners lead the charge at 31-26, a slim half-game lead over the Astros, who have been risen. They are 31-27.
Told you.
Yep, I knew that was coming eventually. Knew that was coming. The disappointing Texas Rangers are in third at 28-31. The Angels are in fourth at 26-31. And the A's, who have just been god-awful recently, they have just played
1-9.
1-9 in their last 10. A couple of weeks ago, I said the Angels were not terrible. They were in the middle of the pack. Nope, they are terrible. They really are a terrible team. So maybe it might be a little longer than expected for the A's to get back to.
I thought moving away was gonna fix them, but apparently not.
No, that stadium has not been kind to them. It has not been. It has been miserable for them. Their home record is 9-19 this year.
Oh God!
There's another stadium in Oakland. I think that might be better for you guys. Maybe they should go back to the Coliseum try and sign a new lease agreement with them. I'm so curious to see if they're able to get to Vegas in the first place. I really am. Apparently, they're apparently supposed to break ground for the stadium this month, so we'll see if that actually happens.
Well, maybe they might have to switch, like you mentioned.
Yeah. In the National League, in the NL East, the Phillies and the Mets, are tied for first place. Both are 36 and 22. The Phillies have lost 3 in a row. The Mets have won 2 in a row. The Mets have beaten the Rockies the past 2 evenings, so they are feasting on the rotting carcass in Queens right now. The Nationals are in third at 28 and 30. They have won 4 straight. The Braves are a slight half game behind the Nationals. They are 27 and 30. And the Marlins, of course, as usual, the perennial cellar dwellers of the National League East, 23 and 33. They will undoubtedly be looking to unload on some of their stars at the deadline. What stars are there even on this team, actually, to be honest? So that's the National League East. In the National League Central, the Cubs lead the charge at 36 and 22. They are 8 and 2 in their last 10, playing very good baseball. The Cardinals are in second, 33-25. I said the Cardinals could possibly make some noise this year because they're the Cardinals. So I'm giving myself a pat on the shoulder for that one.
I'll give you credit. Yep.
Cardinals playing respectable baseball. Brewers are in third at 31 and 28. They've won 6 in a row. Obviously, swept the Red Sox this past week. I forget who they've been. Oh, they were playing the Phillies. They're playing the Phillies this weekend.
You scored 17 runs in Philly yesterday? Wow.
You know, the Yankees lost 18-2 yesterday. There were some pretty lopsided games last night around the league.
The Rays scored 16 runs in Houston.
The Rays murdered the Astros 16-3. Dodgers beat the crap out of the Yankees 18-2. It was 17-7 Brewers over the Phillies.
Man, it's like opposite day or something, man.
And I don't know if you saw this. I mean, the final score doesn't tell the story. The Nationals beat the Diamondbacks last night 11-7. But did you see how the game started?
Yeah. 9 runs without
before the first out of the game was recorded.
That's impressive. I don't even know what, like, the Diamondbacks, who was their starter?
Brandon Pfaadt. Yeah. Very, the Diamondback pitching has been absolutely abysmal.
That's so impressive. Bad. That's impressively really bad.
So,
and we were talking highly about the D-backs. I don't know. I mean, I know it's...
They are...
27-31. They're pretty much around the Red Sox right now.
Yep, one of the more disappointing teams this season as well. Back to the NL Central. The Reds are 29 and 30. They're in 4th place. And in the last place, of course, are the Pirates, 22 and 37. And finally, the National League West Division. The Dodgers in first. What else is new? 36 and 22. The Padres are in second at 32 and 24. The Giants are in third at 32 and 26. Diamondbacks are in 4th. Like we mentioned, 27 and 31. 1 and 9 in their last 10. Have lost 4 in a row. Just a complete disastrous season so far for the Diamondbacks. Their pitching is so freaking bad, especially the bullpen. It's really, really bad and very.
Did you see they blew it? I think it was their bullpen blew it the other day too.
Yep, it's bad. They are not a good team right now. They really are not. And the Rockies are in last with a record.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
9 and 49. They might lose. Very high chance they're gonna lose 50 games before they win 10.
I don't even know how to explain it.
And we were one of their 9 wins. I'm never gonna let that go.
We're playing them next month. We'll probably be, maybe number 14, 13, 14, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's being generous to them. Maybe win number 11 or 12.
Okay.
They are so freaking bad. Oh my!
They make last year's White Sox like an all-star team.
How is it possible to lose 50 games before you reach 10 wins? There's no way that's ever happened before. There's no way. I don't think so.
Even when you're really, really bad, that should not happen.
God, at this point, freaking The Rockies better get punished some way.
We should start doing, Ryan, every single show is when we're going through the overall divisions and we get to the overall NL West, we should just not even say the Rockies team because they're not even a real franchise. You should just be like the Dodgers are the Dodgers, the Padres are in second, the Giants are in third, the D-backs of course have been disappointing, and then just keep. That would be amazing. Be like, yeah, there's another team, but yeah, they're not very good. You guys just have to remember that.
We're just gonna say there's a blank space.
Yeah.
In the words of Taylor Swift.
But
we're not gonna write your name.
Okay. All right. Next thing we're gonna do, and we're gonna write our names for these guys specifically. Who's hot, who's not. So Ryan, I actually am able to do pretty well, I think, with this one. Mm-hmm. So my who's hot, I got two guys. Congratulations to Ryan O'Hearn, because the Orioles, I know, have not been great this year, but Ryan O'Hearn, I think, is going to be a big bat for a team specifically at the deadline. He's batting right now currently .333. He has a .542 slug, a .961 OPS, actually 200 points plus more than he had last year. So congrats to O'Hearn. He went off against the Red Sox, by the way, last weekend, because that's not surprising. He's cut down his K rate by about 20 plus. He had 46 strikeouts total last year. He only has 22 this year to start coming into June. He only has 9 homers, but he's definitely put the ball in play a lot. So Ryan O'Hearn is my guy in the AL. And then in the NL, Ryan, we got to give this guy some props, man. How about, where is he? Hold on. Trying to find him right now. Where are you? Yep. James Wood. James Wood is my NL guy. This guy has been raking. And not only that he's been raking, I feel like every single time I go onto my MLB, I see a James Wood just piss missile everywhere. I saw him a couple times in Seattle. Yeah, this guy is the truth, man. And the Nationals specifically, I think, really, after Soto left, they definitely, are really building something really special there between him and Dylan Cruz. Yeah, James Wood is a beast. 288 average, a 572 slug, a 956 OPS. He almost has 1,000 OPS leading to June, which is absolutely impressive. 16 homers, and this is only his second year. This is impressive stuff. So, yeah, my who is hot, Ryan O'Hearn and James Wood.
Yeah, he's a stud. No doubt about it. He is really freaking good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are good picks. I also have two guys for who's hot, and they are both coming from the American League West. First guy, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh.
Hey!
Go figure. Remember at the beginning of the season when we were kind of criticizing the Mariners for that extension?
Yeah.
Boy, they're making us eat our words there. Raleigh is having a terrific season. He, in his last 7 games, he is hitting .308. He has 5 home runs and 9 runs batted in. He had 2 multi-home run games. In his past 5 games, he's had 2 multi-home run games. He also went deep last night in the Mariners' walk-off win over Seattle. So Cal Raleigh is one guy who is hot for me. And the other guy who has been hot for me recently is a guy who Yankee fans are extremely fond of, Jose freaking Altuve. Has really caught fire for the Astros. Altuve has been hitting the tar out of the baseball. In his last 7 games, he's hitting .385 with 3 home runs. He has 10 hits during that span, and he has just really catapulted the Astros. He's catapulted that Astro offense back to respectability. And the Astros, like I mentioned, are neck and neck with the Mariners right now. Seattle, you blew a large lead to the Astros last year. Could you please not do – well, you didn't have a large lead this year, but could you please maybe hold off the Astros for once this year possibly? We shall see. We're in the month of June, and we still got a couple more months of this season to go. But, yes, Jose Altuve and Cal Raleigh are my who's hot picks for this week.
All right. Who is not? It's going to be no other than Adolis Garcia. from the Texas Rangers. Yeah, this guy specifically after he had, I think he won, was it World Series MVP?
ALCS MVP.
ALCS MVP. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, these numbers are putrid. 56 games played, 208 average. He's never really hit for average, to be frankly fair, but this is just putrid numbers for this guy. He's a 371 slug, 626 OPS. He has 7 home runs. But yeah, the guy just wins at everything. He has no plate discipline, and that's one of the reasons why the Texas Rangers are completely underperforming. Is Adolis Garcia has just been putrid. So that is my hero's not for the week.
All right, well, that's a good pick. For me, for who's not, I'm going to take a guy from my Yankees, Oswald Peraza. I think the ship has sailed with this guy. He has not had a good year at all. I think he is only hitting $155 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. I mean, granted, he wasn't playing too much at the beginning of the season. He was mostly behind Oswaldo Cabrera for the majority of playing time. But obviously, Oswaldo went down last month with the ankle injury, so it's mostly been between him and DJ LeMahieu, and both guys have been absolutely terrible. And Peraza especially has just really, really struggled. He only has 13 hits on the entire season, and he's never got his back going. So, I don't know how much longer you keep this guy on the roster if he's just not capable of hitting major league pitching. So Oswald Peraza is who's not for me.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we have a little bit of time really quick. Trevor Story, my other who's not, but I just didn't, I already kind of talked about him.
Yes.
That's that. All right. Thank you guys for watching episode 71 of Hitting for the Cycle. Like I said, happy June to everybody who observed. Ryan and I are going to be at the stadium for the Sox Yankees this upcoming week, so we cannot wait. We will, of course, discuss it for you guys at our next week's episode. So thank you guys for watching episode Hitting for the Cycle. Make sure to subscribe, all do our fun stuff on the overall platform, and we will see you guys next time.
Take care.